Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Saturday, June 18th, 2016. We have newly arrived and as yet unidentified souls in both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind. We've had worse, we've had better. We'll see how this goes and how long it lasts. We're continuing to ask for very specific instructions, very specifically, what now, in order to live these soul plans right here. And we are aware that these soul plans say to do what is ours to do in all dimensions to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. And we are aware that the experiments over the past several years have shown that help is not coming from larger layers, and therefore it is not going to be possible for us to manifest a divine plan at this layer of experience, at this point in time, given the lack of support from larger presences, but that we can manifest a divine plan in the smaller subatomic. There are worlds within worlds within worlds, and we're not going to get hung up on what we can't do. We're going to start where we are, use what we have, and do what we can, and therefore we are focusing, the assignments have been focusing on manifesting the divine plan for the smaller subatomic. What now? Very specifically, in order to live these soul plans right here. What now? Again, our attention is being brought to these lily pads, little islands, floating islands of an aspect of a plan, and they seem to be floating on a lake of wishful thinking.
That's true.
And the plans don't make any sense. Perhaps if it was a less dense reality, that might make sense. I don't know, but I know that here in this density of presence, that there has to be continuity, moment to moment to moment to moment. So, very specifically, what now, precisely, in order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic?
Quiet.
I do feel something happening, though. There's a straightening up of energy.
That's true.
That's helpful. Once more, what now, very specifically, in order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic? What now? There's another straightening up, and now we'll start to draw up those smaller subatomic presences who want to move forward on their own individual soul plans and want to do this with a community of like-minded people who also want to move forward on their own individual soul plans. And at the level of the smaller subatomic, what do I know? I know that to these small presences, each life form at the level of Earth and its environs is a biosphere, a container,
That's
perhaps
true.
a universe. It's some kind of container.
That's true.
So we are supposed to be, if we understand the instructions correctly, what we are supposed to be doing, our assignment now, is to draw up these aspects from the smaller subatomic who want to move forward on their own individual soul plans, want to do what is theirs to do right now, in every right now moment, moment by moment by moment. And for those of these smaller subatomic presences who want to be under the brightest lights, where it's no holds barred truth seeking, that these are good places for them to be.
That's true.
But that we are not supposed to pull any punches. The assignments to us are to call out every single untruth and really examine it. If something doesn't feel true, to say, hold on, let's take this apart, let's break it down, let's find the disconnects.
That's true.
That is the work here, to search for truth. And so for smaller subatomic presences who want to do that, this is their right place. And if not, they are to line up in the 20 roughly presences who are the current test subjects. There are test subjects who have been assigned a specific, significant life challenge, and and as best I can tell, they're all humanoids.
That's true.
On planet Crazy, also known as planet Earth.
That's true.
And if these humanoids will jump over the hurdle, meet the life challenge, do what they're supposed to do reasonably quickly with a reasonable amount of grace, then that would be a good environment for these smaller subatomic presences to move forward inside of.
That's true.
And if the humanoids won't jump the hurdle, well, then that's not a good environment for somebody who intends to move forward on his or her soul plan. And those smaller subatomic presences should move to the next one in line. We're just going item by item or project by project, and there's supposed to be some overlap with at least 3 in play at any one time. So these new projects are lined up, and who they are we don't know. We think we saw a couple of them yesterday, and the first one absolutely bombed out.
That's true.
And the second one got off to a good start, but is having a little hitch in the giddy up, little
That's
backsliding. We'll see. Waving the soul plans very specifically. What now? In order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic. Again, I feel some straightening up sensations.
That's true.
Now let's start to pump up smaller subatomic presences who want to move forward on their own individual soul plans, or who believe they want to move forward. This is sometimes how we discover what we actually want. Let's draw them up into these, they're calling them containers.
That's true.
And obviously these 2 humanoid lives would be containers, and those other, we believe them to be all humanoid lives, would also be containers.
That's true.
Somebody's saying, what could you do? We could sort them out vibrationally so that the smaller subatomic presences who really want to stand under the clearest lights come into the vessels where the lights are clearest, and then the others who don't want to stand under the clearest lights pack as many as possible together so that they stand a chance of moving forward on their soul plans. In Buddhism it's called the Sangha.
That's true.
And in Buddhism the Sangha is one of the 3 jewels, the jewels of awakening. Oh geez.
Whoa.
That's fascinating.
Somebody didn't like that.
Somebody doesn't like that, but it's still
It's
true,
still true,
friends. In Buddhism, the Sangha is one of the 3 jewels of awakening. The Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha.
That's
The
true.
Buddha is the teacher. The Dharma is the truth. The Sangha is the community of fellow truth seekers.
That's true.
The community counts. The Dalai Lama said, what matters most on the spiritual path is the company you keep. Rich Confessori says, you sleep with pigs, you get to smell like pigs. It's all the same idea. The importance of community.
I know why this person's angry.
Why?
He's angry because there is a community that's living to higher standards than him, and he said, I don't want to do this anymore, and so he left the community, and now he's trying to prove to himself that he didn't make a mistake, that he did the right thing, and communities are stupid, and it doesn't really work.
Well, pal, to us it seems like you didn't really work, that you
Yeah.
weren't willing
I
to
think
do
you
the
made a
difficult,
mistake.
painful work. And so, why don't you go back, apologize, clean up your mess, and try again? Wherever your community is, and I've got no
bone
dog
to
in
pick
this
here.
race. Whatever you want to do is up to you.
That's true, but that does look like what's going on.
All those who really want to know what's actually going on to the search for truth central axis. All others flung away, bifurcate much higher. Waving the soul plans very specifically right now. What now in order to live these soul plans right here? More drawing up feelings, and this time drawing up into the lives that are right behind us, the 1 or maybe 2 lives right behind us. That second life feels so sad.
That's true, and starting to solidify.
It's like that other young man we were working with who was feeling so bad and so sad,
That's
just miserable,
true.
hopeless and helpless.
That's true. Similar feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like God has abandoned me kind of feeling.
Yes. God has abandoned me. Well, what is God? God is currently being defined as a consistent source of significantly higher vibrations. And we are discovering, to our horror, that does seem to be in short supply when we define higher as meaning vibrational in quality, not as meaning geographic location.
That's true.
It does seem to be in short supply. A higher vibration, a higher pitch, a higher tone, a higher frequency.
That's true.
That's a good point. They're saying, look, there are a lot of people who have significantly lower vibrations than the presences who are talking to us right now. And that's true. That's true. And so it's a comparative term. I agree.
That's
I
true.
agree. To them you are a divine presence. I agree.
That's true.
What now? In order to live these soul plans right here, what now?
That sad person.
Sad.
Recently, they've been going back to the places where they think that God is.
And can't
he's
find
not
God.
there.
There's no God there. They don't know what to make of that. Must be an energy sensitive person.
That feels true.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
They're putting my attention on that song American Pie. Took the last train for the coast the day the music died. That feeling of everybody pulling out. It's like, what happened? God left.
That's true.
What happened? Well, friend, what happened is the divine delivery system broke down, and it seems that it broke down just from lack of maintenance,
That's
unfortunately.
true.
And then the presences who have been left, they know to push the buttons, and they're pushing the buttons, but the machine is broken. And now we have to rebuild the machine. The divine civilization has collapsed, just like what would happen here if the grid went out.
That's
here
true.
in North America, on Earth and its environs. If the power grid went down, everything would grind to a halt. We're not set up even with solar. We're not ready as a culture for something like that. And that's what's happened upstairs.
That's true.
And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. And so we have a collapse of divinity, and that's what we're working to resolve. That's why we're working to manifest the divine plan no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. Does that answer the question?
Now there's a big wave of sadness.
It's better to know. That's
better
what
to
our
know.
friend Pan would say. It's better to know.
It feels like the feeling that we felt earlier this morning. We were working the Elton John song about John Lennon being dead, and this sadness feels like that sadness of that song.
I've been knocking and no one answers.
That's it. That's what
Yes,
this feels
I've
like.
been knocking and no one's answering. Come on, God, I'm here. Very specifically, right now, very specifically, what now in order to live these soul plans right here?
These soul plans.
These soul plans. So the point is being made again to these presences who are supposed to be weaving a divine plan that actually works. It doesn't work to have lily pads floating on a sea of wishful thinking.
That's true.
We're not going to be able to manifest the divine plan that we've been assigned to manifest, and we just have to acknowledge that, but to work with the tools that are willing. That's Rule 101. That's the basics of how to weave a divine plan. Start with the presences and what they're willing to do and what they're ready, willing, and able to do.
That's
and
true.
weave together a plan that works, and then that plan will be woven together with other plans from other dimensions or planets or levels, etc. to make an overall plan, but we have to weave it based on reality, what presences are ready, willing, and able to do.
That's true.
So this poor guy, whoever he is, or woman, but feels kind of male, has been asking, what now, God? Tell me what to do. He's ready, willing, and able to do something. Give him an instruction that takes him forward on his individual soul plan. And don't give him some wishful thinking baloney. Tell him something real. Very quiet.
Very quiet. This was coming up in our client session yesterday, about how the presences that our client was able to hear were telling her to do things, but they weren't things that had anything to do with her soul plan at all.
Right.
It's like the presences upstairs were just looking around for something, anything they could say to do, and okay,
to
do
keep
this
her
thing.
busy.
Right, keep her busy.
That's not
listening to
helpful.
them.
Right. To move forward on the soul plan very specifically. What now? And we would point out to you that it's been over 10 days that we've been asking very specifically and getting no response. Over 10 days.
That's true.
Which is a long period of time for presences who are actually paying attention.
That's true. There's another straightening up feeling.
Right. My attention is being brought to our loose or loose one, how he's supposed to be stretching much higher, and how difficult it's been. He knows what the assignment is, and he keeps thinking that he's gotten to the place that he's assigned to be at, and he's been off by such a wide margin.
That's true.
That his scale is wrong. And he's now on the midline and moving up again. He was stuck, and he just keeps saying, it just seems so unlikely. And all of this seems unlikely, but that doesn't make it untrue, unfortunately. Friends, you've got to weave a plan that's contiguous and has at least one level of backup. The rule book says 20 levels of backup, a solid, contiguous life plan with 20 levels of backup. And if it's a difficult situation, to have more, 100 levels of backup, 1,000 levels of backup for really big projects like manifesting the divine plan on planet Earth. No matter what anyone else does or doesn't do, there were 1 million levels of backup. 1,000,000 souls into bodies on planet Crazy with the assignment to manifest the divine plan, no matter what anyone else does or doesn't do. We're 999,998 short of people actually working toward that goal right now.
That's true. Someone really did want to say 998.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. A plan that works, a plan that has backup, a plan that works solid and with backup. That's your job. If you aren't able to do it, then play passes to the next level.
That's true.
Tap out honestly. Do the job or tap out honestly, or you look like a real loser.
Ooh. There's a weird feeling. Just shake feeling.
What now? Very specifically, in order to manifest the divine plan for the smaller subatomic, what now?